All right. And as we know, we are live now that we've pressed the live button. So
I always like to wait for this.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello,
tuners
everybody.
in to the Outsider Circle podcast.
Welcome back to some episodes.
Yeah. Sorry for the hiatus. We had there's a loss in the family.
Yes, my grandmother died, as some of you may know, recently, so I was away taking care of that. But that is through, and we are back now.
Yeah, we're coming back to you with some hot, fresh content, some lukewarm takes, and some outside ideas.
Yes.
As is the Outsider Circle podcast. Catch us now as well on outsidercircle.com, theoutsidercircle.com, where our podcast is starting being hosted live, or not live, but you will be able to start finding them there, and shortly on iTunes, then hopefully Spotify thereafter.
Yes, hopefully. And we'll be getting our stuff together.
Yeah, we'll be a real podcast, and not something you have to tune into it live on Tuesday nights. Yeah. You can just do it on the train if you want.
All right.
Like most people do.
Yeah. But today, actually...
Speaking of trains.
Yeah.
Nice little segue.
Our topic today is going to be not outsider, but insider.
Ooh.
Tunnels.
Tunnels, infrastructure, and what the fuck just happened right now? Are we still live?
What? Oh my god, why is there a bar on the top?
Is that
the... Whatever. Okay.
That's... Okay.
God damn,
there's always something wrong. As long as we can be heard.
Yes.
We have one viewer. It's Brian. Hey, Brian. Oh, unfortunately, we cannot be joined by Brian today as we usually are because Brian is unfortunately recovering from some minor surgery, which he is recovering from well. Yeah. He's now sans 1 appendix. And all the better for it, I'd say.
Yeah. He's doing well. He's healing good. Heal well, Brian.
Yeah. But so, Brian, please wish yourself well on a speedy recovery as our only viewer today so far. Yes. 2 of you. Whoever else is viewing, wish Brian a speedy recovery.
But yeah. So our topic that I had.
But just sorry on that note. But instead of Brian this evening, we are joined so kindly by our good friend Jake on the keys today.
Hi, how you doing?
Oh wait. Oh, is that again?
Hi, how you doing?
There we go. There's Jake. All right. So, as Leo said, we're leading off today. We're going to go into a little conversation about primarily tunnels.
Yes.
This has been a passion idea of Leo's for some time now. He's been yelling at all of his closest friends about his opinions on tunnels for the better part of 2019.
Yeah.
And so why don't you just lead us in with give us some broad strokes ideas first on what why tunnels? Why tunnels?
So why tunnels? So Vin is 100% correct. I have genuinely been yelling at many of my friends about tunnels in the recent months, and that is because tunnels are super important to society, and I'm somebody who kind of likes society, and I want it to be better. So one of the ways to make it better is with tunnels. Well, no.
Oh boy.
There's always something going on. Oh my god.
Please ignore the man behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Or the wall behind the curtain.
Today's just whatever. We're getting
It wouldn't be the Outsider Circle if everything went right.
Tunnels. Let me tell you about tunnels. Now, America doesn't have a lot of tunnels, and it's very unfortunate, and that is one of the reasons why I feel so passionately about this topic, because tunnels is something that proves to make societies successful. We live in New York City, best city.
We got mad tunnels in New York City.
We have so many tunnels in New York City, and so much of our success is tied to those. We have
so many tunnels that we have a category of people that are bridge and tunnel crowd. So we incorporate bridges into that because infrastructure is all equal in our eyes. But so we have so many of them that we have different stratas of human being in the city.
Yeah, exactly. So
and we like them less. Just for the record, bridge and tunnel people are worse than native New Yorkers. I'm going to make that clear for anybody of my friends, personal friends of mine who are from New Jersey and Connecticut and Long Island.
I do have a few friends
worse
of mine
than we are
who bus in from Jersey.
And if you're gonna talk to the mic, Jake.
Agreed. Oh, mic's on here. Okay.
Yeah.
Agreed.
You can bring the mic to your face, man.
I didn't know if it was on or not.
Yeah. Well, we were talking to her earlier. Anyway, Tunnels. We need tunnels to have successful society, most specifically to get people from one place to another, hopefully with the transportation method of some type of railed system. Those prove to be the best people moving systems in the world.
I mean, not in America. In America, we believe in cars, as we've touched on before.
We do believe in cars, but I am 100% a car hater. I think cars are just generally a bad idea, and we should kind of stick to bikes and trains, you know?
Also agree.
See, you know, he only says that because he has no driver's license, so he has no legal or technical ability to operate a motor vehicle. So that's why he's angry, because he's afraid of the lack of knowledge.
And I'm not afraid of the lack of knowledge. I know what the knowledge is.
He's been a pedestrian his whole life.
I'm afraid of cars.
And the few times he has driven, he's managed to get tickets. Parking tickets, in fairness.
Yeah, well, that was my recklessness. But either way, cars are scary. They're large and they're 2-ton metal death traps. You can kill people very easily.
Yeah, but we figured them out a while ago.
We did, and you know, that kind of worked well back in like the 50s and 60s, and the whole Eisenhower interstate highway system really kind of connected the country. But now that's not a good idea.
1956. We're going to get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
But first, tunnels.
Yeah.
All right. So, what makes you such a big fan of tunnels? What makes you think that tunnels are the key to connecting continental America?
So, tunnels are stable and they're invisible, which is some of the two of the most important things about them. So, one of the examples, Jake, if you can pull it up for us on the 9 projects, at the top of it, they talk about, and switch it over to the screen. The top of it, they talk about this project called the Big Dig in Boston, and that's where they had this large highway that was going over a middle part of downtown Boston, and as we have learned through
pictures in that article,
there should be.
I want to show the people a bunch of texts.
There we go. That's a picture. That is what it is now today. A highway used to run over that, and now the highway runs underneath it.
Really?
Yes.
So they built like an underpass?
Yes. So that allows people to get through Boston and in and out at some different areas. And this is just a tunnel. This is just for cars. This is for the highway system. You know?
Cars.
Yeah.
Cars.
We're so attached to cars, and let's, you know, we can work where we're at. You know.
Is that a boat? That's not a tunnel. That's a boat.
No, that is a different type of tunnel. That is a bridge.
Is that a boat tunnel?
Yeah. That's a bridge to a small island to then a tunnel under a body of water.
Do they make that island just to be there for the tunnel?
A little bit sometimes, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Tunnel building has gone beyond what I thought it was.
Tunnel building is immensely complex and interesting, and that's why I like it so much.
The bulk of what I know about tunnel building comes from the establishment of the New York City subway system.
Yeah.
And like the Sandhogs Union and all that. It really just comes from like the labor aspect of the people who died building the tunnels of New York.
Well, yeah, and that's definitely some of the biggest part of the tunnel, because tunnels are an intensely laborious task. But even though they're so laborious,
it's better, you think it's more, it's ergonomical city planning to have tunnels? Like you get the blight of cars off the streets?
Yes, exactly.
But what about all the exhaust underground then?
Well, that's why you should use trains instead. Yeah. And trains can work really well in tunnels.
All right, we can switch back to us now, I think.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's kind of just the basis of, we should have tunnels. So even if it's in a capacity for highway systems, we have a bunch of tunnels coming from Jersey and going and from Queens going into Manhattan to get cars in and out, and it's very important, and it allows for people to travel between different islands or different bodies of land with water in between them, or for whatever needs to be gone through. Sometimes it's mountains, sometimes it's underwater, sometimes it's just large hills, sometimes you just want to avoid the overworld or whatever.
The overworld.
I think it's also an interesting kind of form of storage as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yes.
Why would you build a whole new thing above ground when instead of building outwards, you can just build inwards?
Yes, for example.
There's a lot down there anyway.
Yeah, I know that.
Because it's expensive. It
is
massively expensive. You have to displace a lot of earth. You have to bring... Yeah. All that earth has to go somewhere when you build a tunnel, right? So when you build a tunnel, you're also basically building series of hills.
Yes,
it's worth the value, though, isn't it?
There's, I believe, when they were building the channel, there was like, it was
the channel is the tunnel between England and France and the English Channel, for anyone who's not in the know for the channel terminology.
I'm sorry, I'm throwing out some of this high tunnel terminology.
Yeah, you gotta be a tunnel rat like we are to understand these tunnel terms.
But when the England and France were building the channel, I don't know about France, but I know England, they displaced all the dirt and then just kind of put it at the edge of some water or something, and they increased their acreage of their country by like a couple of acres, like literally, like they added more land. And similarly, that kind of happened. That happened with Battery Park City, downtown in Manhattan. I don't know where that's from. I think that's from the World Trade Towers when they were digging out the foundation
from 9/11.
Yeah, because you can go to the 9/11 museum, and they have it's on the grounds, and it goes all the way to bedrock. It's very interesting from a museum, cultural, and engineering standpoint.
Yeah, I don't go to museums.
Yo, you should go to museums. Museums are pretty cool.
Super boring. I can Google all that shit.
Get educated in.
I could be educated on the internet.
Yeah, but they're trying to entertain you. You know.
No, they're trying to get my
you with
money.
Your senses.
I'm not trying to pay money to go educate myself. I did that already. I still owe that money. I think that I missed a student loan payment today, actually.
Oh man. Well,
sorry, Sally Mae. Not actually.
No, fuck Sally. So yeah. But you know, if you get those new NYC IDs, you might be able to go there for free. There are free days for museums. They try to help you. Everybody wants you to be educated, like museums, and you should go take advantage of them and be, educated and interested in the wonders of the world.
Nah, fuck museums. Anyway, so the big thing though, like tunnels definitely have a lot of utility, and there's a lot of good reasons to start tunneling and start investing in that as infrastructure. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of infrastructure planning on the horizon. There had been some. There were about $2 trillion worth of infrastructure planned by the Democrats and Donald Trump. And to the most of my knowledge, like fairly recently, he knocked it down, or he refused to sign off on it because there was the conversation of impeachment going on. I'm not sure exactly how true all that is. No news is good news anymore.
I have heard, I did hear that bill got put forward, and to my knowledge, it hasn't passed through. So that's very unfortunate.
Yeah, so America's not even really focused too much on infrastructure until lately, and all of our infrastructure is falling apart to the point where even the existing tunnels and roads we have are in huge states of disrepair, just terrible states of disrepair.
Our bridges are falling apart.
I think most of the bridges in America, statistically, over 50% of the bridges in America are in the need of some repair or serious need of repair.
Yeah,
and it's
what is that? Is that a helicopter? What? Huh?
It sounds like a helicopter.
That sounds like a helicopter. All right, they're looking for us. All right, we're talking too revolutionarily about tunnels over here on the fucking Outsider Circle podcast.
You see that helicopter crash into the building? Was it today?
Yeah, I saw that. No, that was
yesterday.
Yeah, a helicopter flew into a Midtown building yesterday.
Yeah, they were trying to land on it.
Yeah, it was near a school actually.
Really?
Yeah, it was it was right next to Rockefeller Center.
Holy shit!
Oh damn.
Yeah.
But so, unfortunately, America, just isn't building any infrastructure at all. How much of that would be tunnels isn't certain.
Very little of it, probably.
Yeah. But overall, our infrastructure is crumbling. And
the only American who's trying to build tunnels is an American.
Yeah, and we're going to get to him later. Oh, man. Because I know people like to have opinions about him, and I'm starting to form a spicy one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That sounds terrible. I don't like it already.
But yeah, so the other unfortunate aspect about tunnels is they are mad money to build. So much.
They're more expensive than roads and bridges.
But a uniquely American issue is that for some reason in America they are not astronomically, but markedly more expensive than in the comparable nations to us. So Western Europe.
I want to say it's because we have higher standards.
No. It's honestly, I think it's
because American manufacturing is just superior.
So one of the interesting statistics that I found is that when people were
everything's more expensive here,
running the numbers for the labor costs and the total cost of building tunnels in the United States, 10% of that budget. Oh, I feel so bad about these curtains. Oh, you know what? There we go.
Just keeps hitting me.
Whatever. No, fuck it.
Is it just gonna be exposed?
Yeah.
We're exposed.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Sorry, people. This is a set.
Yeah, we're really gonna get ourselves in shape coming soon.
Don't worry about it.
I have less to deal with, at least. So.
We're letting the people down.
Yeah, we are.
I think your auntie's watching now.
Yeah, all right. But either way. So, tunnels. One of the reasons that in different studies that have gone across the United States, like labor practices around building tunnels, they've said that 10% of the cost, that 10% of the reason that it's more expensive to build tunnels in the United States is because we lack health insurance. So... Because we
can't insure our workers.
Yeah,
like they're more likely to get injured and fucked up. And we can't.
Well, not that. It's literally the opposite of that. That you have to insure your workers so that they can, if they get fucked up, could go to the hospital and stuff. And because we don't have any type of universal health care, that is a market increase in the price of labor in the United States of America.
Wow.
10% increase on building tunnels just on health insurance.
Damn, America. Yeah. Come on. I love you, but you tripping, dog.
Another reason, unfortunately, is actually unions. So, it's specifically...
Pro-union forever on this podcast, by the way.
Yeah, we're going to get... It's encapsulated with other bad practices, but let me get to it. So, the unions in the United States, in the areas that kind of need to be... the tunnels to be built, which is usually California and the Eastern Seaboard, unions tend to have a lot of power, very specifically here in New York City. The New York City unions, with the people who build the tunnels for the 2nd Avenue line, which we'll also get into in a little bit, they held a lot of sway, and they also, specifically in New York, one of the most corrupt places in the whole damn world, literally.
No.
Yeah.
No, not
well, we can get into that later.
Not one of them. That's a different podcast.
New York State politics is literally some of the worst politics in the world. It's pretty intense.
I'm not comparative to so many places.
No.
Not even in this country. Look at Chicago.
No. There's a difference between incompetence and corruption.
Look at Chicago.
And we're corrupt. But yeah.
Not in the city.
Either way.
Maybe Cuomo.
Yeah, no, that's one of the people who corrupt. Did you know that 1 or 2 years ago, the top 3
people... You think
people,
de Blasio's competent enough to be corrupt?
De Blasio,
De Blasio don't know his ass from his elbow.
Nah, de Blasio's a knight in shining armor. De Blasio's
best idea for the city was fucking boats.
Yo, it's a really good idea.
It was a good idea 200 years ago when the city was founded. It wasn't a new idea. He was like, what was good once? Boats. Yeah. You know what we got away from? Boats.
And you know what?
Hey, I should be president. Boats.
I love.
Fuck you, Bill de Blasio.
Have you ridden those boats? Jake, do me a favor and pull up the NYC ferry.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yo, we're gonna talk about these goddamn boats.
It's a good step for infrastructure. It was a good thing for the city, but it was not a fucking new bold idea.
Well, who's doing it? De Blasio's doing it.
Fuck de Blasio.
De Blasio was like a lukewarm cup of milk.
You gonna vote for him for president? You gonna vote for him in the primary?
God, no.
Yeah, no, you're not. But because you want a real person for president.
I'd vote for him for mayor again. He's an excellent bureaucrat.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yo, this man knows how to. Okay, let me.
Yo, AOC for mayor of New York.
She's not gonna run for mayor. She has higher ambitions.
Yo, mayor of New York is gateway to the presidency.
No, not the Staten Island, the New York City ferries. There's New York.
Yeah. Look at that whack ass fucking Staten Island cab. Bong. No.
Yeah, but the New York City ferry map. It'll have.
That's it. Those are them. The ones that were. That's it. That's the one. Oh, you want the map?
Yeah, because I want to show you all the places that this ferry goes, and it's so cool.
These aren't tunnels, bro.
Yeah, they're not.
These
tunnels.
Are water roads.
I know. Well, because it's cheaper, and De Blasio can do it.
Is it cheaper? It's the price of a MetroCard, right?
It's the price of a MetroCard. It is cheaper to build. You don't have to build underground and put a boat on the water.
You have to build boats.
Boats are a lot cheaper than tunnels.
You can also buy a boat.
It's a manned boat cruise.
You could buy boats.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll thanks to capitalism.
All right, but you have to man those boats. You have to train.
Yeah.
Jesus, you have to train captains of those boats.
You can hire them.
Yeah, we're in New York City. We have
you have to blow out the microphones of your podcast.
Yeah, you have to do all that.
Yeah. These are fantastic, though. Everybody should go take these, especially in the summer now, because it's going to be so delightful.
Drink, they're a good idea. You can drink on the boats. They're fun. I haven't been on one yet, but I'm looking forward to my first drunken boat ride. It's gonna happen probably soon.
They're really, I really enjoy them. So I don't even remember.
Yeah, but Bill de Blasio was a terrible man.
Okay.
He won the mayoralship.
And that man mathed himself
on the back of his biracial family, and that's fucked up.
Yeah, I don't know, man. He's there.
I don't like Bill de Blasio. If I saw that man in real life, I would not respect him.
Yo, it is so hard to have an opinion on him. But either way,
right? Because he's not a person.
But yeah, so the corruption. So New York State, specifically the 2nd Avenue line,
Second Avenue subway,
the 2nd Avenue
travesty of construction.
Literally the most expensive miles of tunnels ever built. It is. There should be that article there, Jake. If you can.
The most expensive mile is literally the title of the article.
If you can scroll through it and find the
hey, look, the New York Times is telling you to fucking pay money.
Oh, is it? Can I not? Or is it? No,
I think you're good on this one.
All right. But
still the beginning of June.
These suck. And so the issue, one of the biggest issues here that I walked away from this was that, so the unions, they have a lot of sway. The people get paid a lot. They get paid a lot in overtime. Some of these workers are making $1,000 a day.
Yeah, dude. You know what the fucking risks they have to take are too.
But
they're working with explosives underground.
But at the same time, a lot of it, specifically in New York, things are overstaffed. It is astronomical that when some people, specifically from France and Paris, which is known as internationally having some of the most powerful unions in the world, they have a much more competitive, much more efficient and effective tunnel building system than the United States. And so one of the reasons is that there's huge inefficiency from rules that are made by the unions with their contracts with the contractors and the construction companies. But when
for every guy in the tunnel, you have to have two guys to hold his hand.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, there's still rules in for elevator attendance and like generator attendance.
Well, there should be rules for generator attendance.
You don't need it. Those things are automatic. You just have them running, and nobody needs to do it.
And what happens when it fucks up?
Well,
you should have someone who can attend to that.
You can send somebody. You know, it doesn't have to be
generator attendant.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be one guy standing next to the generator all day waiting, making sure it doesn't fuck up.
Pay me $50 an hour to sit next to the generator.
You see the picture over here?
Yeah. That's a priest. I don't know how much they paid that priest to bless it.
Blessed a new phase of what? Oh, okay.
This is America. We bless everything.
Yeah.
Blessed it.
Also, another thing with these unions is that these unions are also very corrupt, and I am not 100% certain.
They're not corrupt. They protect the proletariat of this country.
These unions, the New York City unions, have a lot of political power, and they have donated a lot to Andrew Cuomo.
And they protect themselves and the working people of the city.
But then it gets bad on the other side. And the other reason for that is twofold. One, that there is only, I think, 3 or 4 companies that work within New York City to take contracting jobs for these types of jobs. So that means that there's only 3 or 4 people bidding for a single thing. I think the article had said every contract for the MTA in the New York City tunnels averages at 3.5 bids. While in Paris, I think it was compared to 11.5. And that the whole point of kind of contracting and stuff like that is that different contracting companies will say, well, we can do this job for this much, we can do this job for this much, blah 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 yada yada, whatever, and they compete for who can do it the best for the least. Yes, but capitalism doesn't function correctly when you only have 4 people, and basically they can be like, well, we're only going to do this for this much, and then they can just upmark their price, getting more money from the MTA, and then on top of that, the MTA does not have a seat at the table when the negotiations for pay and work place conditions are negotiated between the contractors and the unions.
So who decided to put the 2nd Avenue subway in place in the first place? It was probably the MTA, no?
Yeah.
Right.
So they decided that, and then they had to hire somebody to make it.
It's a fucking dumb idea to start with.
It's not the great idea. I would say the worst idea is probably even the Hudson Yard. Yeah, the Hudson Yard extension to the 7 train, which I believe
that makes more sense. I think because that actually gave 100,000 more riders.
I think here, I don't know how long it was, but it says it was $3.5 billion a mile for that stretch of track in New York City.
It must only have been like another mile or 2 of track.
I'm not certain, but it was a lot of money. It was an astronomical
that makes
amount of money.
Like that makes sense to me. And New York City is expensive. The real estate in New York City is expensive. So to even drill through the fucking Manhattan bedrock is going to cost you a fucking pound of flesh per inch of rock you drill through.
And that
makes sense to me.
That is a particularly American issue as well.
That doesn't bother me as long as it's actually benefiting the people. Like I agree with you. The 2nd Avenue subway was a fucking wild waste of money. No, that's the Hudson Yard. That's a different thing.
The 7 train 34th Street extension.
Yeah. But that's there's if it had been what the MTA I feel like really should invest in is connecting parts of the city that are not already connected.
Yes.
Like they said that they're easing congestion on the 456 by adding the 2nd Avenue subway. I don't agree. I don't think that's true.
It is unfortunately.
You ever ridden a Q train in 96th Street?
Yes.
It's never full.
It is not full, but here's the thing. The Upper East Side and that area is one of the most densely populated areas in the whole world.
The whole fucking city is the most densely populated place in the whole world.
No, it's not. Some places are populated more scarcely than others, and very specifically,
I would
the Upper
much
East Side.
rather see another fucking any train going between Queens and Brooklyn, or Brooklyn to the Bronx, or Brooklyn to Queens to the Bronx, than another fucking Manhattan line. It would probably, maybe not cheaper, but it would be probably less expensive per mile to do it in the boroughs than it is in Manhattan. Actually, I fucking bet money on that. Manhattan is just so wildly expensive to start with.
Well, here's the thing. Relative to the cost of that specific cost of land leasing or land rights purchasing.
But how many fucking, like, how much are we catering to the people who live in Manhattan? And I was, like, trust me, I was born and raised in Manhattan. I love Manhattan. But how many, like,
I mean, they're fucking rich.
The kids on the Upper East Side need to get to school faster? Like, what the fuck is
Here's the thing. The city caters to the rich. Like, these two ones.
Everybody who works for the rich lives in Queens.
Yeah, well,
like, we need to connect Queens better to the rest of the city and like the boroughs to each other.
Well, fuck us, man. You know, that's just the way life is. And that's why I think that specifically the bigger travesty is not the Second Avenue line. That was a whole clusterfuck. But you know, I guess it's working out.
How
for
about
them.
a line running across the Bronx? Because trying to get from fucking like the east side to the west side of the Bronx is a nightmare.
Garbage.
You're better off going into Manhattan and then going back on another line up.
But I dislike the 34th Street one, because the 34th Street subway extension on the 7 line, which is the line that I live on. So this is we live on
all of us here actually.
Yeah. All of us.
Jake is our neighbor as well.
Yeah.
This train, it goes all across Queens, and it got one more extra stop to go into 34th Street. At which point, the only thing that was really there when they first decided was the Jacob Javits Center.
Which is, I think, might still be like warrant a stop.
It's okay, but then
you've also got like Port Authority over there.
Yeah, well, no, Port Authority is at 42nd Street, which is
than the other one. No. Penn Station's up.
Penn Station's kind of close. Yeah, I guess it's a couple avenues over. But but then they built Hudson Yards there, which is a whole nother travesty of the rich people getting what they want, and. It cost them estimates of $35 billion per mile.
I think it was only about a mile.
Yeah, I think so as well. And that's just a ridiculously large amount of money to spend on such a small segment of tunnel. And this is very specifically a New York City issue with the astronomical prices of it. But these same conditions are not that unique to just New York. The unions issue is also something that similarly happens in California. The additional price of buying or leasing the rights to build under people's land is an issue that happens across the United States. That's the same issue that high-speed rail services are having.
So space in New York is so expensive. Have you seen all these concept buildings? Like, are you making use of the vertical space?
Yeah, but
have you seen that fucking
the vessel? Have you guys seen the vessel?
Oh god, I hate that.
That's the one I'm talking about. The one that's like a ring.
The vessel.
Yeah. But the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, and like,
how would you? There's no way that any insurance company would ever allow that to happen.
Right.
You have a whole section of building that could fall on top of another building. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh yeah. It's honestly just like another like movie disaster scene waiting to happen.
Yeah, that's a The Rock movie. Yeah. That's made to cater to China.
To be fair, like I am writing a movie right now, and I kind of want to film a scene there.
In the vessel.
Yeah, literally.
It's never gonna exist.
Don't do
literally
it.
Just for the sake of like
it's never gonna be.
I'm pretty sure you have to have a reservation to go look at this for free.
Matter of
Are we talking about Hudson Yards?
Yeah.
No, the vessel.
No.
Wait, which isn't the vessel the thing that?
Yeah, the vessel. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. No, I was talking about the other thing. Sorry.
Oh, no,
but the vessel is a fucking. You cannot film there if you ever want to own that piece of film, because they literally built into it's not a building, right? It's an art structure, and as an art structure it has a patent on it that any image taken of it is owned by the guy who built it or by the organization that paid the guy to build it. Then. Yeah, literally any piece of footage captured there featuring it, you have no ownership over it. You cannot make any profit on it. It's the same thing with the lights in the Eiffel Tower. Because it's considered art, and then the art can have an ownership over like a trademark.
Wait, so how did the Eiffel Tower end up like in Rush Hour 3 then?
So the Eiffel Tower by itself, you can film it, but the Eiffel Tower at nighttime with the lights on, it's considered an art installation. You cannot make money on that. And if you're going to, you have to like work out a negotiation, obviously, with
probably
whatever committee. Yeah, I can't remember if it was on at night with the lights on.
Yeah, it was night.
But then it's a promotional shot. Then France got some cut of it, or it was like part of like France's film as a measure or something like that. Yeah. But it's like it's built into the whole agreement about the fucking vessel.
I fuck the vessel. Then.
No, fuck the vessel for a million reasons.
Fuck the
That the least of them.
All right.
The vessel is also it's economic. It's architecturally unsound. That thing is not gonna last 10 years.
Oh yeah.
That and it's economically a spitting in the face of anybody in New York who can't feed their kids. Like, we have a tremendous homelessness problem. So what do? We build a stairway to nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We set aside what $4 billion to build the Hudson Yards.
Yeah.
$4 billion. We weren't even going to give that much money to Amazon. We protested that.
Yeah.
And we still let this happen.
Yeah. It's pretty bad.
It's a nightmare and a half.
But so these kind of issues, well, besides the Hudson Yard, which is a different kind of socioeconomic issue, but ties in with the tunnel building of the 34th Street extension. Now, across the rest of the country, specifically at the larger metropolises, very much in San Francisco and LA.
Do we have more comments? Sorry, Jake, do you mind scrolling through that chat?
Yeah, that's it.
These prices still persist.
Let's go.
And a lot of them is for the same reasons in New York, just kind of to a lesser degree other places where there are not enough people, or there are not enough different companies offering competition, and then unions tend to have too much power. And
it's like a choked market.
Yeah, and then if it's not that issue, it's a captive market. It's called.
Sorry,
that's a technical term, I believe.
I'm not an economist.
That's reasonable.
I'm barely a podcast.
So these issues happen, and these are on the rail figures that I have for the different projects across the country. With New York, I think was at the highest. So San Francisco has projects for
high-speed rail between San Francisco and LA.
No, these are just like, this is just rail.
Just tunnels?
Yeah, just like tunnels and different rail within the area. San Francisco.
BART.
Yeah, San Francisco. Yeah, one of them is the BART. Actually, this is a BART extension. $920 million per mile.
Holy
LA.
Shit.
$900 million.
That's almost $1 billion a mile.
Yeah, $920 million per mile. Another LA project is $800 million per mile. A San Jose project is $780 million per mile. And comparably in Europe, in like Nordic Europe and Western Europe, some of these tunnels are being built for maybe not half, but almost half of the American cost.
I mean, are they as good as ours?
Yes,
are they gonna last as long as ours?
It's sometimes it's the same equipment and like the same building style.
I don't know. They're probably using inferior product. Like
They're not.
Steel is probably not as good.
No. The issue, because it's not that. The issue is so bureaucratic.
Is not as skilled or
the French tunnel builders, which are a part of a fiercely union
American exceptionalism will hear no argument.
Well, that's gonna hear no fucking tunnels either, man.
Yo,
I'm not gonna hear the sound of those tunnel boring.
We need to invest all of our infrastructure dollars into road building. Our roads have fallen into such disrepair. We all drive cars. We need to make smarter cars and better roads.
Okay, but cars, as I had said before, is generally a bad idea.
Until they're electric. Electric cars are great.
No, even electric cars.
Yeah, I mean, we don't because we're in the city.
Less of a bad idea.
Yeah. But like
still a bad idea.
Many people, electric cars, bro.
No, man, why do you need a car? Don't you want
to go places?
Yeah, I can get there on like a bike or a train.
Leah, I remember seeing
there's some places that don't have rail lines.
Yeah, we need to build it.
Yeah, well, you don't have it now. Get a car, bro.
Yeah, but you
can get a car.
Don't you want to fight for a better future? I want to fight for a better future. I want
to fight to get me a car.
Literally yelling at people every single day. You should care about building tunnels.
My car while I'm driving past them.
Lee, I remember that article you shared, the Kalashnikov electric car.
Yeah.
Yeah, you shared that article.
There's a Kalashnikov car.
Yeah, the Kalashnikov group, which is
fuck yes.
They made an electric car that looked like a fucking old school.
Looks like it's
Russian
from Fallout.
Yeah.
It looks like a Fallout vehicle.
I want it.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of Tesla's cars? They're great. They're wildly expensive, but they're great.
Yeah, but they're cars
right now.
Yo, you ever want to go 60 miles an hour immediately?
No.
Fuck yeah.
No,
Fuck
don't.
you. You spend more time in Texas than you will. I spent like a modicum of time in like greater America, and I have a need for speed now.
This is best. This is what cars does to you. It's
no,
like,
this is what living in the city does
to your brain.
Yo, in the city, we have a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit. It limits us. It limits our brains.
It's safe,
you think cars are worse
effective.
because we have trains?
Yeah.
Nah, dude.
Trains are great, bro.
You'll never know freedom like you know freedom in a car.
I can understand that, but I'd rather just get places efficiently.
You ever wake up one day and just be like, I just want to not be here? If you had a car, you could act on that impulse.
I got a bike and I can get on the train.
You can't bike to California.
You could try.
You can't take a weekend trip to Florida on your bicycle.
But on a train, maybe. On a train and a bicycle?
Nah.
Yo, I'd go to Miami if I can get a train ticket down there real quick and then just hop on my bike.
Take you fucking 19 hours on the train to go to Miami.
Yeah, because our fucking trains suck, and I want
the whole weekend traveling
trains.
there and back on the train.
I know.
What wouldn't suck? Driving in your car.
So I've
you can get down to Miami in like
to Texas.
14, 15 hours probably in the car.
I travel a lot to Texas, and it has been my.
Wow, you found like the once dumbass fucking propaganda image. Yeah.
What is it?
From fucking RT.net probably.
Well, show everybody this.
Drive Mag. Oh, I did.
Yeah. How safe are Tesla cars? Finds the one fucking propaganda. Every other image is just a regular Tesla.
How safe are Tesla cars?
How safe are any car? Yeah, it's a 2-ton death machine. If you're an idiot about it,
don't
be an idiot.
Pilot one of those. Man.
You know how many people don't die every day in a car accident? Most of them. Just be like most people and don't die in your car.
You know how many less people die in train accidents?
Yo, I see a thing on my train most days that says last year 122 people. They weren't struck by trains. They used to say struck. Have you guys noticed this? Some of the semantics, the euphemisms they use? Yeah. They used to say 100 and some odd people were struck by trains last year. Now it says however many some odd people came into contact with the train.
That's a lot softer.
There's no ownership on the MTA's part. We didn't strike anybody. Somebody came into contact with the train.
Yeah, to be fair, it's like no train operator or anything goes into with the intention to hit someone.
Oh, I definitely would. Are you kidding me? If I had the opportunity to be like, yo, that motherfucker's leaning out a little too hard.
We have a friend who works for the MTA as an operator. We can ask her.
So she's told me a couple of things already that it's like, all right, I definitely knew that people operated like that. Like people who like gun it through the stations, like they just like leave the doors open for as little amount of time as possible and just like, okay, thing, you missed it, sorry, bye.
Oh man.
There are people who just like it takes an hour, right? An hour for the one train to go from end to end. There are people who are like, I'm gonna do it in 45 minutes. And like, yo, you don't. Like, don't do that. People are gonna get fucking hurt.
Oh yeah.
Also, but there are some like nightmarish situations that I've had in my head where like I've dreamt that like my backpack gets caught in the closing doors, but not me, and then they stay closed, and then I just get like flung through the whole thing, like ah!
One of my worst
comedy
fears,
right there.
Right, but that would suck, bashing into every pillar along the way.
One of my worst fears is not like getting hit by a train, but accidentally causing somebody else to get hit by a train.
Oh my god!
Like that is my huge.
Bumping into somebody.
And then like fall and be like, oh
shit! I just murdered that guy.
God!
I caused someone else to explode.
I also get paranoid sometimes about people who just push people.
Oh yeah.
Because I've seen those news stories where some fucking crazy dude just like pushes someone into the tracks for no reason except they just had a bad day or they're just not all the way there.
Also, Vin, in your scenario where your backpack gets stuck in it, can't you just take your backpack off?
No, because I'm being pulled by the train. So my attempts to get off, I'm still being pulled by the train. No, listen, I can demonstrate how difficult that'll be. Like, put a backpack on and I'll drag you, and you try and take it off while I'm dragging you.
Yeah, but do you just not realize that you're?
Yeah, you don't realize until it's too late, and then you get pulled. Yes.
How do you not realize?
I don't know, Jake. It's a dream. I don't have to make. God, I won't usually ask these questions. I'm just telling you about a nightmare situation that I had.
Your nightmare is terrible.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Yeah.
I would not buy tickets to it.
Oh, don't
buy tickets.
I'm not selling them.
But what was I fucking saying?
I'm turning down my mic so I'm yelling too loud.
Trains are great. Hold on. Let's get to. I got two more topics I want to get them before we finish this podcast.
We got time. We started at 9:08.
What time is it now?
9:46.
Okay, all right, we got some time.
We
let me
at least 20 minutes.
So
we haven't gotten into all the bulk of this. We've been sidetracked.
Yeah, let me get you.
We still have to talk about Elon Musk and China.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, do you want to talk about Elon Musk or do you want to talk about Mexico? Which one? Pick one. We're going to talk about both of them, but which one you want to talk about?
Go with Mexico first. That sounds new to me. I know what I know what I'm going to say about Elon Musk.
All right, so
fucking Ellen.
Jake, pull up that
Ellen
article.
Musk.
Yes. That one and the Newsweek. So start with that one. This one. So
no, what we should talk about is El Chapo's tunnel building.
Well, this is a part of that. So as Jake is pulling up here, this is some images from the U.S.-Mexico drug smuggling tunnels that the Sinaloa cartel, the cartel that El Chapo was a part of, has been building for
leader of, no?
Yeah, I don't remember. He was high up at least, probably leader, but either way, they've been building these tunnels for quite a long time now, and they've been using these tunnels to transport drugs between different twin cities that happen across the U.S. border.
Drug dealer. Look at that dude.
It's so impressive. And these tunnels, they were built with. They had rail systems where you could have like rail carts full of whatever your thing going through. They were averaging around 250 feet.
Scroll back down to that guy. So I get it. He's still like fully equipped. But even with that, he's like a fully grown man. That doesn't look like a fully grown man size tunnel. They're using kids. They're using kids in these tunnels.
I think they're just far less decked out.
That's horrible. But on the other hand, that's so efficient.
It is.
So much better.
It's so good.
You heard it here, folks. Child labor is very efficient.
Have you seen?
Well, it's not child labor. It's a little bit of slave labor under extortion and.
But it's both. It could also be child labor. I'm not. Listen, if I'm already illegally smuggling drugs from Mexico to the U.S., I don't think I'm turning my nose up at using children to do it. Yo, children need money too. Like, if I was 14 and someone gave me oodles and oodles of dollars just to carry a package from one place to another, I'd do it. Oh, I get to be in a minecart while I do it? It's like Donkey Kong Country? Fuck yeah.
I don't think the kids who play Donkey Kong
These are some weird bananas, El Chapo, but I don't even care.
Yeah. So,
yo, especially if you give the kids some of the drugs? Yo!
Let's not don't give children drugs, so traffic drugs or build
drug trafficking or use of child labor to do so. Just in case anybody with any authorities decided to pay attention this evening.
But either way, the Sinaloa cartel had been building these tunnels for a while now. They probably built. I think they said they pick about like 2 or 3 a year, something like that. New ones.
2 or 3 new drug tunnels.
Yes. And
that's so enterprising.
Yeah.
Dude, you cannot knock Mexican work ethic.
Yes.
I swear, there's no harder working group of people.
Can you pull up that like click that photo, see if it enlarges this one? Yeah. Because you can see how well made these tunnels are. Like they have electricity, they have lighting, they have rail.
Holy shit.
They are well built. They have all the amenities that are needed to have an efficient tunnel.
They have like lighting like every 10 feet in there. Like,
this is like a real ass tunnel.
There was an architect that worked on this. Someone like designed these.
They kidnapped some engineers to build them.
I want to inspire this level of follower. Like, I just want to be such a motivational leader that people are like, yo, we should do this right. Really take our time with this.
Yeah, let's build some tunnels. We get our businesses set up. We'll take our time, and then
don't let the unions take their control of this project. Let's just get our guys to do it. That's like, oh man. I know we're supposed to like disagree with that and all that, but that's just so. Bravo. What cartel was it?
The Sinaloa cartel.
Please don't murder me for saying this, but I'm really impressed with your guys' ability to get things done. This
is El Chapo's cartel, and this
I understand why they're the #1 cartel in Mexico.
Yeah.
Look at the work they put in.
Yeah.
They tried. And it paid off.
And when El Chapo was put in maximum security prison, they built a tunnel
out. Yeah. They're like, yo, we got this. We know this ball game.
Oh, wait, where are you at? Oh, we need to build this one-time tunnel just to save you?
Yeah.
Bet.
One and done tunnel. Yo, wait for like 11 days, and then we got you. Because wasn't it something like that? It was like less than 2 weeks.
I don't know how much it was.
I think it was like a ridiculous.
Pull up information real quick while we're talking about.
Someone said that to me.
The El Chapo escape tunnel. But yeah, so
now, don't we have them in the U.S. now? Like
what?
We got them for good, I think.
I think so, but that doesn't stop. the core philosophy of building tunnels. They sort of be like, well, fucking El Chapo, he's fucking. They really got his ass, huh? So it's like, I guess we should stop building tunnels now, right? No. you stay building your tunnels because the tunnels are efficient and they're underground and they're hidden and they do what you need to do. And the drug people understand that, and we need to get our government to understand that tunnels are good. Because if the drug dealers dealing in the peak form of capitalism, which we like to say that we like, if they're building tunnels, maybe we need to be building tunnels.
So speaking of other people building tunnels, so not only are Mexican drug lords absolutely excelling at building small, personalized, privatized tunnels, the only other major tunnel builder right now in America that anybody can talk about is Elon Musk and his company, The Boring Company. Because Elon and his jokes.
Musky boy.
Goon.
So, Elon Musk, and I can get to my spicy opinions about Elon Musk. But
first and foremost, Elon Musk needs to relax. He needs to calm the fuck down, step away from leading his companies, and just be an analyst or be someone in the background who gives advice. That guy. This is the guy who has more money than God right now.
No, that's Jeff Bezos. He has a lot of money.
Okay, Jeff Bezos is God. Yeah. Elon Musk has more money than Catholic God. He has so much money. He shot a car into space.
Yeah,
dude, that's science fiction levels of egotism. Like, I made this car and I made this spaceship. I'm gonna shoot it out there. What the fuck? The ego in this dude. He's part of the PayPal mafia, for anyone who's familiar with that. So he was one of the early developers on PayPal, and he took that insane payout and he started. What was his first venture after that?
Was it SpaceX? No. What was he fucking known for? I don't even know.
I don't know. Well,
he's Elon Musk. He made money and then he's doing weird shit.
He's
I think was it Tesla? Did he start off with Tesla?
I don't know. But at least at this stage he's most known for Tesla, the electric car company, known for their like luxury, outlandishly high priced.
They're not that high priced. They're like $35,000. That's pretty reasonable, honestly. For a new vehicle, it's kind of okay.
Whatever. He's also just like a bit of a personality. He has stringent opinions on tech and like the way of the future. He has like he's gotten in hot water with the SEC a couple of times over tweets that he's made about his company.
Yeah,
proving that he definitely should not be in charge of the company. He's a good idea guy. That's what these Silicon Valley dudes are. They're idea men, which is great. Like, do the thing, engineer it, build it, but let someone else do all like the public face.
Well, I think here's the thing. Elon Musk is the
look at that
face.
Fucking Twitter feed. Look at just like the fuck you.
But that's the way the world works nowadays. Our president is Donald Trump.
What is that? What is
Twitter
that? What
rules
kind
our
of
life?
Death Stranding bullshit has he got on the top of his page?
Can you explain this? Can you show what is this, Jake?
I can't see and this. Then also that
is this
purple
SpaceX?
Post. Whatever.
It looks his cover. You mean his cover photo?
Well, yeah,
the cover photo and that top.
Oh,
post,
is that what Mars is supposed to look like?
Is that his terraformation of Mars?
I think so. That looks like it. Yeah, what the fuck is happening in this purple blue ass fucking...
I'm gonna finally shout some Bill de Blasio and Elon Musk in this podcast.
Alright, yeah. Bill de Blasio.
Come for me, you fucking millionaire boys.
So here's the thing. Elon Musk, he's changing the way we work, and he's doing it in these.
Elon Musk used to snitch on kids in his elementary school.
I don't think Elon Musk had friends enough to like.
That's what I'm saying. No friends. Snitch on kids. I said he snitched on other of his peers. None of them were close companions.
He doesn't seem like a rat like that.
He's not. If you ever saw Randall from Recess,
is that a bumblebee at the top?
I bet he made that himself. I can't read that from here. I'm blind.
That tweet says, "This is my pet bee, Eric."
Why does it have okay, yeah, sure, whatever, fucking Elon Musk.
Yo,
go
listen,
spend all
I'm
your
all
money.
About saving the bees until I seen that tweet.
Okay, but here's the thing. This man is taking all that money from whatever the fuck he did to make a bunch of money for PayPal, and he's literally using it to try to advance our society. And he's very actively trying to do that. And I think overall...
What the fuck, Elon?
What scientists can...
Who is he appealing to here?
Cat girls.
Yo, don't let weebs be in charge of things.
Please don't. But yeah. So Elon Musk, he wants to change the way things work, specifically in space. With SpaceX, he wants to make SpaceX cheaper. Tesla, he wants to make electric cars cheaper.
Rick and Morty. That's what he wants. He wants to be both Rick and Morty.
And the Boring Company, he wants to make tunnels cheaper.
Because he's not a human being. Wow. He's a South African robot who came here with his robot ideas and made robot cars, and then wants to make self-driving robot cars. He's also, this is part of what I don't like about Elon Musk, is that he wants to do everything. Mm-hmm. He's doing space, and he's doing underground, and he's doing cars, and he's just fucking all of it up. He's half-assing everything. Well, SpaceX is actually doing all right.
Well, here's the thing. It's not that he's half-assing.
Is that just a sad face tweet?
It's a wiki face.
Okay.
Just like,
all right.
He's dating Grimes.
Is he still dating Grimes?
Who's Grimes?
Yeah. Who also?
Grimes? Do you listen to music, Jake?
Not really.
Do you enjoy art?
No.
Do you have any art in your heart?
Not at all. I don't even have a heart. No.
All right, but either way, so Elon Musk, I think he's intentionally coming out here trying to fuck shit up. All right, so Elon.
Obviously, I hate Elon Musk.
So here's the thing: Elon Musk is a requirement of society, and he has found his place in the world and chosen to play it. He is intentionally blowing a lot of his money trying to advance society just for the sake of advancing society. What he's going to do is going to be successful.
This podcast needs a soundboard so that I can make stupid noise effects when you make ridiculous statements about human beings. Necessary?
Yes. Because here's the thing. Before Elon Musk came out with Tesla, who was building electric cars? Nobody was building electric cars. And now that he's come out with Tesla and the Teslas have been viable and people are buying them.
Ford had the fucking the Prius.
Yeah, that wasn't. No, that was a Toyota, and that's a hybrid.
That's not going to tell you who Grimes. A picture of Grimes is not going to tell you who Grimes is. Grimes is a musician. She makes weird Billie Eilish music.
So because of that,
fuck Billie Eilish.
Now
Billie Eilish is a child, Jake.
So because of that, tunnels, my terrible Elon Musk.
What kind of music do you listen to? I assumed Billie Eilish was your generation's music.
I'm not that much younger than you.
Aren't you like 22?
I'm turning 24 in a few weeks.
Yeah, you're a baby.
You're 26.
Yeah, you're a baby.
So Elon Musk. After he started making Tesla vehicles, other people started making electric cars. After he's doing the Boring Company, people are caring about tunnels. After he's doing SpaceX, we're trying to figure out how to make SpaceX cheaper.
You're giving him way too much credit. People did not start caring about tunnels because he started the Boring Company.
I'm caring about.
People still don't care about tunnels. And
well, he's working at it. But somebody has to build these tunnels.
No.
Somebody has to build these tunnels.
Right. The thing is, people have been building tunnels in this country for a long time.
No, they haven't.
Yes, they have.
Not
Point
that
of
many.
fact. Point of fucking fact. We have a whole union, as we described in New York City, that build tunnels. There's a whole union of them. There's a bunch of these guys. There's too many of them, you said. We have people who build tunnels. His thing was he was going to do it more efficiently. He was going to do it more cost effectively. And neither of those two things are true. He was wrong on both of his counts. The whole concept of the Boring Company was he was going to science up digging. And he fucked it all up, and it didn't work. He's just a new private company doing digging, but we've already got guys who have done digging for 100 years already.
Yes.
So we have diggers. We have a focus on infrastructure. He didn't fucking suddenly refocus the concentration of our conversation politically on infrastructure because he started the Boring Company. No. He's just a fucking dude with too much money who thinks he can do too many things. He's like, oh, I shot a rocket into space. I could definitely build a drill. And then he couldn't build a fucking drill that worked the way that he thought it was going to work.
Well, he currently has.
He built a mile of tunnel that could fit one car at a time.
Yeah, and
that's not more efficient or more cost effective.
Yeah, it is.
It's neither of those two things, Ellen. Elon Musk, that's his name. He says Elon to make it sound foreign and cool. It's Elon Musk. It's a girl's name. It's a lady man of a human being.
Oh no! Can you fix the light, Jake?
Sorry.
But he
fucking Elon Musk.
But he
musky ass Ellen.
So the tunnels that he's built, they are specifically smaller. They're weird, and he kept on selling us the Hyperloop with the cars inside of it. And here's the thing. Here's probably my spiciest take. Elon Musk is a charlatan.
Yeah,
I agree. Elon Musk is lying to us all the time so that we
that's not even his real hair. He was going bald at PayPal, and then he got a lot of money, and he paid that fucking turn his money into hair. He's feeding you lies.
Elon Musk is lying to us. all the time saying that these things are going to be far more wonderful than they have any potential to be.
He just wants to dig because he thinks the Martians burrowed under the ground on Earth. He watched that one episode of Futurama too many times.
Yo, but tunnels
I
are
cannot respect this man.
The whole point of today's podcast is
that's two South Africans I just will not respect.
Who's
That's Elon Musk and our boy Ashley Vance. I cannot respect these two South African gentlemen. Trevor Noah's cool though.
Is it just the white ones then?
Apparently. Well, I mean, Charlize Theron's alright.
Oh, she's from South Africa?
Yeah.
So maybe it's just white guys.
Allegedly.
White guys from South Africa.
Yeah, white man in China. This fucking guy. Look at that fucking douchebag. Fuck.
Yeah, but we're
talking about tunnels? No, fuck this. We're talking about Elon Musk now and how much he fucking blows.
But he lies to us and gets us excited because Americans are stupid like that. And then that makes people, want to talk about tunnels and space and
my fucking cars.
Electric cars. People, Elon Musk has not been able to make enough.
He named his car
Teslas.
company after a far more successful inventor. Look at that. That tells you everything you need to know about Elon Musk.
Nikola Tesla was famously unsuccessful.
No, but he was correct.
He was correct, but he fucking died in
he was
poverty.
more successful as a scientist. He wasn't more popular. He wasn't financially successful, but he was more right. His science was better. He invented the alternating current.
Well, here's the thing. When we're here talking about Elon Musk, he's out there making electric cars. He can't make enough electric cars.
You know what? Let's talk about another frustrating fucking topic now. After Elon Musk, it's Leo's other fucking... I need to get a fucking thing.
We need to get a pop filter.
Your pet?
No, Leo's other pet interest. The other people who are building tunnels, the other people who are outpacing America in terms of their raw infrastructure building. I don't personally think that they have built infrastructure that's going to last. I don't know that that's true. But Leo has very strong opinions about China and China's infrastructure capacity.
So
they did build cities overnight almost.
Yes. So here's the thing. What China is really, really good at, besides the whole mass surveillance and social control thing, is shit. What was I just gonna say? I just lost my thought. Oh, it is mobilizing people for a singular cause, and which means they don't have to deal with all of the same kind of hang-ups that we do. And in doing so,
no, that's like too specific.
Yeah. In doing so, they can build not only high-speed rail ridiculously cheap, which they have sprawling their whole country at the moment,
and it exploded in like 50 years.
Yeah. But they can do it. They can do it efficiently and quickly. They build their way out of problems. Unlike Americans, we try to design our way out of problems, and Chinese are just like, nah, we're just going to build shit, and then that's going to solve the problem.
Well, that's a big part of it. China, for the last 50 years or so more, has been like a primarily industrial nation. Like they've been in the building part of their nation. We're post-industrial in America, and we have been since the end of World War II, basically. Like our major production days were like World War II and then like the next 10 years after, but like by the 60s we were pretty post-industrial.
Yeah, we had
China was in the middle of its industry in 1960. Like we had moved all of our industry to China, and that's
started to. That's a very important thing for why the China versus US.
Our last big infrastructure project was like the U.S. Highway Act in 1956.
But here's the thing: China keeps on building their way out of problems, and very specifically with high-speed rail, they are allowed to connect their most populous and productive cities with each other so fast. So I believe
they also just create populous cities.
Yeah,
they just decide this is where a city's going to be.
I mean, that's also a very good thing for them. They don't have to worry about the very capitalist issue of getting the rights from people when going over their land or going under their land or whatever. They don't have to do that. They can make a whole production line economy focused around building these things. That's why they're able to make these kind of like essentially what are ghost cities overnight. And then just kind of build housing, build cities. Nobody's here to live in them or anything, but they're there to be populated afterwards.
Right.
And those are some of the very specific issues that we have in the United States. We do not have enough built up to support what we want to do. We don't have enough places for people to live. We don't have enough means for them to get around.
We don't have the health insurance to cover the people who need to build these things to get to the other people.
Yeah.
But we're not gonna. It's not gonna start with tunnels. It has to start with roads in America.
It does. But tunnels is something we got to keep in mind.
Existing roads. I just don't think we're gonna see a tunnel America.
I mean, here's the thing: like tunnels are inevitable. Like it's not like
so much
idea.
Sprawling landscape. Why would we want to mar it with fucking tunnels?
What do you mean? We're gonna mar it with fucking roads, bro. Roads are gross.
Roads just sit on top of shit. That's fine.
But here's the thing: tunnels are underground is 3D. We can go so many levels underneath.
You have to excavate so much land, and by upturning all that dirt, you're going to wind up changing the landscape around it.
I mean, yeah. You figure that's a problem with the tunnels, but it's very important to have them because you can now have that underground space. You can now have the surface area was as we saw before with the Boston Big Dig and the Boston
was it that's a coastal city. Like they have place to put that's in water or near water.
What do you mean?
They can make a seawall or something.
I mean,
we have a lot of water around.
You can make a giant mound. Right,
but I'm talking about like if you want to build tunnels in fucking Indiana, like it's never gonna happen.
Do you think like they just all they have is fucking land out in India? Actually, I don't know.
It's gonna be high speed rail. If we're gonna solve any problem there, it's gonna have to be high speed rail.
Yeah, well, that's
not gonna get fucking tunnels in the middle of America.
Yeah. Yes, but not in the middle of America, but like more specifically in cities. Cities is where you need the tunnels. You need tunnels in highly populous areas.
Yeah, places where you need the surface.
Yeah. And as cities are not going away, cities are only going to get bigger. And I think within our lifetime, we're going to reach that.
We need to start seeing subway systems in places like Minneapolis and fucking Midwestern cities.
Yeah, these mid-range cities that are like really starting to grow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Minneapolis is actually like on a huge rise.
I think Minneapolis is like the up-and-coming city in America. I've heard a few people say it. Talk about it in regards to that.
A lot of the 5 major Texas cities are also really on the up and up.
Right.
And Texas is much more sprawled out because they have a lot more land, so it's a lot more car culture out there. But if you were to have high-speed rail between the major cities, I think would be fantastic, as opposed to driving the hundreds of miles in your one car, taking all that effort, which driving is like effort. Why go through all that effort where you can just sit in a comfortable train and then just go really fast, and then the train goes vroom, and then
the trains need to get better before anyone's going to do that.
Trains are already better. They exist.
Not in America, they're not.
I know.
Amtrak is garbage.
I know. Amtrak fucking
garbage.
Sucks, bro.
I'm also taking shots at Amtrak.
I'm so sad.
This is the Shots Fired podcast today.
Amtrak makes me really sad.
Yeah, every time I've been on an Amtrak train, I've hated it. Every time, without fail.
Yeah,
and sometimes it's the only option.
Yeah, and if we want to continue to if we want to effectively grow, if we want to have the ability for our citizens to interact with each other for not only cheaper but quicker on a person-to-person or on a physical basis, and have industry and business and everything, all the type of growth that comes from that, we need high-speed rail and that's on a larger scale, but in metropolitan areas, we need underground subway tunnels.
It's time to focus on American infrastructure.
Yes, that's the greater lesson.
We're now definitely a little over the end of our hour.
Yeah, so
we just want to. Yeah, I feel like that's a good way to cap it off.
Yeah, it is. Please care about tunnels, people.
Care about infrastructure. Tunnels
care about society. Part of it. Yeah, like unironically, bro.
Don't let Elon Musk be the only person who cares about tunnels. Most importantly,
have an opinion about Elon Musk that's negative, but form a different opinion. Like don't just hate him. I hate him for a reason.
But believe in infrastructure.
Yes.
And put your voting mind towards infrastructure plans.
Vote with your infrastructure.
Anyway, thanks so much for tuning into this evening's podcast. This topic of infrastructure and tunnels and China.
Yeah.
And Elon Musk.
And
Elon Musk,
Elon Musk.
You really hate this guy.
I hate Elon Musk.
That's reasonable. He's a hateable guy.
Yeah, fuck that dude. Fuck white male South Africans. Probably.
Fuck like white males in general, honestly.
No, you can fuck me. Anyway, I've been Vin. I've been your podcast co-host.
And I've been Leo. I've been the other podcast co-host.
And this has been the Outsider Circle podcast. Thanks so much for tuning in and
enjoying your evening.
See you next time.